Welcome everyone to Doodle to Doing. I'm your host, Karen Light, professional artist and creative productivity coach at How Doodle. Doodle to Doing is all about helping individuals and teams activate creativity for purposeful productivity to realize your goals and make a bigger impact. Whether you want to create a painting, content, a book, a program, an experience, you belong here. And each episode just might inspire you to doodle. So grab something to doodle on and doodle with to make some juicy progress with us. Let's go. This week, I've been asking clients to draw a rectangle on their paper to represent a blank canvas. And I've been asking for them to visualize and then doodle within it one thing they like to look at. One thing they like to look at. So if you want to do this little activity before I give away why I'm asking them to do this, you can pause it right now and do it first. Otherwise, keep listening for why. I've been asking them to do this because it helps them to create a vision for 2025. How does it help them create a vision for 2025? Well, first of all, let me explain why I don't just ask them to doodle or draw out their vision for 2025. Asking people about their vision, I find creates a lot of resistance for two reasons. The first reason is we tend to overthink and get overwhelmed by this question. Some of us really want a lot of things or have really big ideas, and trying to capture that or sort of disseminate that, distill it into one vision feels like a huge challenge, and we're not quite sure how to overcome it. So we start overthinking, or we try to squeeze a lot of things into this little tiny canvas. The second reason that people get resistance when I ask them about their vision for a new year is they're nervous. They're nervous to create one because they have a history of not being able to make their visions happen. Perhaps they're in a cycle of creating goals only to feel like they don't succeed and that they're failing. So these are two big reasons why people have a really difficult time envisioning what they want for a new year. So I asked them to simply draw something they like to look at. And let me give you some examples of what people drew to help you understand how this could become a vision for the new year. One of my clients drew her cats. Her cats came up first. She's like, I tried to think of something more clever or better, but you said not to overthink it, and this was the first thing. And I said, perfect. Yes, we don't want to overthink this. The first thing that comes up in your mind as to something you love to look at and you could keep looking at is the perfect thing for your vision. And her cats, when we started talking about them, really do capture what she wants for the next year. She wants a much more calm feeling, and her cats often bring that feeling up in her. Her cats also don't care so much about what other people think. They're not people pleasers, right? Cats are different than dogs in that way. They're really going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. They will get love, but on their terms. And they're also pretty playful and can be a little bit mischievous, which she would love for things to feel a little bit more playful in her life. So cats were a great one. Another client drew this scene, and it's the steps down to the beach from her beach house. And calm came up for her too as a big feeling word she wants to experience in 2025. And feelings are really important for our vision. But we also talked about the waves and how she wanted to find her own rhythm of doing things and resting and how she goes about things. She wants her rhythm to feel good to her and calming to her, even if there's peaks and valleys. And lastly, we talked about how she wants to find the steps or that pathway towards what she wants. And one more example I'll give you is another client drew like one of those old-fashioned cash registers, with the big tall buttons that you press. And the cash register was open. And we talked about how he wanted to feel more open to ways that he'll receive money this year. How, instead of thinking about it in this narrow way, he's going to broaden his ideas about how he can make a good income. So when we start looking at these things that we like to look at for meaning, It can give us some really great insights as to what our 2025 should be about for us or could be about for us. And then we can take it and break it down into some steps. What might help you to feel more calm? How can we infuse more play into your day? Let's talk about the steps or your next steps towards getting what you want. All of these things become much more rooted now in this image that they can keep in front of them. And keeping an image in front of you is a powerful practice. If they keep this vision in front of them for the new year, it can keep guiding them in how they're prioritizing their days. It can keep encouraging them to take those risks that feel uncomfortable, but they know would be good. They would know that would help them achieve their goals. So I encourage you to try this out this week. What is something you love to look at? And represent that some way. You don't have to have any drawing skills for this, okay? Just represent it somehow in a visual form in a little rectangle that represents your blank canvas, because truly the year is your blank canvas. You get to create what you want. Make it something you love to look at. Make it something you want to show other people. Make it a masterpiece. All right, you all, let me know how that goes for you. And until next week, keep creating.